Gonna go right back into this. I just have the most interesting thought going through my mind, and I said, Lord, do you really want me to tell that? And I don't even know who it's for, but what it is, it's basically an invitation into the throne room of God. I believe this is his throne room because his people are here and he inhabits the praises of his people. That's why you're here tonight. So I believe he makes his throne room. God comes. God comes among us. That's what he says he will do when people begin to worship him. That's what the Bible says. And we believe that. Now, maybe you're thinking tonight, I don't even know what to think about this, what I got myself into. This is really weird. Those people up there jumping around, I don't think you're supposed to do that in church. And I've not even thought about this in so long, but the Lord began to whisper to me over here and said, I want you to tell about that. And so here I go. When the ramp first started years ago, I'd never quite seen worship like this either, even though I've been raised in the church. These kids were jumping, they were dancing, they were headbanging, I was like, now Lord, what in the world? And even the people in our community didn't know quite what to think about it. And they said that in newspaper articles and picketed and everything else. They were like, the ramp is strange. Don't let your people go there, because you're not supposed to dance in church. And one day I heard the Lord speak to me so clear. And he said, Karen, he said, you can change it. You can tell the kids to calm down. You can tell them to stop. Don't be dancing like that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You can tell them just to stand there. You can. You can tell them, he says, if you do that, he says, you can tell them just maybe slightly lift one hand carefully, not much. Clap. They might clap a little. You can tell them. He said, the other churches will like it. People, maybe some people would really like that. Baptists will like it, Methodists will like it, Church God will like it, Assembly God, all these churches, everybody will like it. He said, but what if I don't like it? And he said, or you can just give them the freedom to worship with and let them worship me in spirit and in truth. And God said, everybody in this city may hate you, but what if I like it? And then I realized, you know what? I know the story behind their dance. I know what they were bound to a few months ago and a few years ago. I know some of the drug addiction that used to hold them in bondage. I know about the alcohol they used to be completely bound to. I know what kind of a lifestyle some of them came out of. I know why and what is behind the jump and the dance. And you know something? If I know it, I can't help but wonder. And I'm not talking about just these kids. I'm talking about these kids right here on the floor too. If it blesses me to see it, I think how much more does God, who sits in heaven and looks down on the earth and sees, the Bible says, the eyes of the Lord look to and fro, just looking for somebody to worship him on a Saturday night. Now he sees people worshiping football. He sees people worshiping in bars. He sees people worshiping television sets. And the God whose eyes roam to and fro stop in Cleveland, Tennessee. And I don't believe that God is going to look at Jesus and say, get that stopped. I don't like that. I don't want those kids jumping. I don't want them doing that. Don't tell them to stop that. I believe if anything, God is saying, Jesus, look right there at that church. Come on. He's saying, look at Becky. Come on. He's saying, look at Michael. I set him free. Come on. Look at Renee. I delivered her. Come on. If anything, he's saying, Lord Jesus, bless him some more. Pour it out some more. Pour out my joy. Oh, come on. What's he done for you tonight? What's he done for you tonight? Give him glory. Give him glory. Give him glory.